cameraman tells you it's all good and it's not all good because he didn't hit record. What's up guys, Kara Corey here. Welcome to today's video. I am going to be doing for you a full day of eating as requested by you guys. A lot of you said you wanted to still see these types of videos right now. Even though the world is weird, it's still weird. We don't know when it's gonna stop being weird. I'm still over here eating, so why not share it with you? I'm kind of like mid full glam, getting ready for the day, but wanted to eat some breakfast because it is getting rather late. This happens sometimes on the weekend. I slept a little later, got my homework out in, and now I'm eating lunch. So I like to have lunch. I'm having breakfast, brunch, lunch. I like to have kind of like a bigger meal to start out my day. I like to give it a little time and then reassess if I really am hungry or if I need to eat a little more or wait. You know, I just kind of try to stay in tune with my body. And what I do suggest, because even for myself, if you do the same as me, when you haven't eaten for several hours, you want to eat so quickly and you just feel like you can't get full, you have to slow down, give your body some time to kind of digest and process what you've just ate. It takes 15 to 20 minutes for that signal to go to your brain as to when you're actually full or satisfied. So try to keep that in mind when you're eating if you're someone that eats in less than 20 minutes, which I think a lot of us do, or we're multitasking as we're eating, so we start to lose sight of those signals our body is telling us. So just a reminder for you guys, you know, no one's perfect, or at least I'm not perfect at mindful eating, but I am trying to be a bit better about it, especially during these quarantine times, if you will, where, you know, my normal activity is not the same. No need to panic. Just use this opportunity to learn your body a bit better. So for breakfast, something I've been craving lately, I'm dabbing it. It's getting a little juicy because of the salsa I used was like a little bit of a more watery salsa. I like to make anything into a sandwich. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but that's something you should know about me is I love sandwiches of any sort. So take whatever food it is, stuff it in some bread, a tortilla, a bun, you name it, it's a sandwich and it's good. So that's what I'm doing for breakfast. I have cooked up some egg beaters with some salsa, a little bit of pink salt on one of these La Tortilla Factory. These are lower carb, but honestly, they're just tasty. That's why I got them. But the macros are pretty slamming. I found these at Price Chopper. So with a lot of tortillas and wraps, they can be very carb dense, obviously, depending on the size. These guys are 3 fat, 19 carb, 13 of which is fiber. So watch yourself on the fiber. And 8 grams of protein. So ingredients listing there is pretty good. So I do quite enjoy those, whether or not I make them into a little egg taco in the morning, or sometimes I like to do a little PB&J in there. That's just one of my favorites. And then this looks like a very sad bowl of kiwi, but this is 2 kiwis cut up. Trying to be on my fruit game right now, making sure I'm getting in enough vitamin C. And honestly, I've just been really craving fruit lately. If anything, my veggie game is lacking, so we're going to try to work on that today and this week. That's one of my many goals for myself. But also to fill me up, I'm going to have these Chobani flips. I mean, they're all right. They're not like definitely a health food. They're a little more of like a sweet tooth satisfier, if you will. There is Greek yogurt in there. I do like Chobani Greek yogurt because it does have a good enough amount of the probiotics in there. So you usually want to count your probiotics, make sure there's at least 4 to 5 different varieties in your yogurt, and that's kind of what will dictate if it's a better source of nutrition for you in terms of your yogurt and the probiotics that it's providing you. But this does have the little salted caramel crunch that you flip on in there, and it's just a sweet, salty crunch. So if you haven't noticed, I'm like a texture person in terms of food satisfaction. Satisfaction. Is that a word?
I think you said that right.
Did I say that right?
And I was thinking, I'm like, as I'm doing this puzzle, I was like, damn, I think that's a good word.
Is that a good word? Satisfaction, or is it just satisfied?
Well, we're going with satisfaction.
We're going with in terms of meal satisfaction. It's not always about the macronutrient split or balance or calories, things like that, depending on what type of person you are. I'm a flavor person. I like different flavors at a meal, but also different textures and different temperatures. So I've got like this whole thing going on here, right? So I've got the warm tortilla with warm eggs and salsa on it. Then I've got a cool kind of fruit, a little bit of sweetness there, a different kind of texture there with the kiwi. And then for the yogurt, another cool item, but then I'm adding in that crunchiness. That's the only thing giving me crunchiness in this meal. So I'm getting a lot of different flavors, textures, variety in this meal. So things to be kind of taking note and asking yourself about what type of eater you are, I think, is very helpful for you in terms of long-term health, not just like thinking about weight loss or being fit. Like think about your health right now, you guys, and use this opportunity to learn your body better, what meals satisfy you, and just being more in tune with your body. So with that being said, I'm going to jam on my breakfast because I think my egg tortilla is getting a little soggy. I'll do a sloppy bite for y'all. There's the thumbnail. So I don't quit making a mess, I'm going to eat this. And we'll see you at my next meal or snackaroo. All right, guys, back in the kitchen. And I went out for a nice leisurely walk with Bruce Wayne. Thankfully, it kind of like cleared up. It stayed very gloomy, but the sun did come out a little bit, enough where like it wasn't super wet. When you have a 150-pound dog, you take him for a wet walk. It's a whole situation requiring a bath. But I got him out, went on the canal, did a nice walk. I'm at 8,102 steps for the day. For those that are going to ask, I use the Samsung Galaxy Watch because I have a Samsung phone. So I know a lot of people ask. I do like this watch, but the battery life sucks. So I always keep it in like power saving mode, so it like doesn't look very cool. But it does like alert me when there's text messages and stuff like that. I digress. I just wanted to let you know I went out, I got a little activity outdoors, and it's getting awfully late in the day. So I'm going to have lunch right now, see how that goes. My breakfast, by the way, bomb.com filled me up for a nice period of time. And then I had a thing of machine fuel with Naturalite in it. That combination is delish. So hydrated with that. Just got a little left, I'm finishing up. And for my lunch, I've got a nice, delightful combo here of some jasmine rice. This is the Trader Joe's organic microwavable rice. Yes, it's very easy and convenient. My favorite though. So I've got a half a pouch of that rice. We had some slow cooked chicken already made in the fridge. That's always a lifesaver for me, you guys, is having some meats cooked up. Actually just made Jason some turkey burgers in the air fryer. So we usually have a combination of turkey burgers, we just make them into patties and cook them in the air fryer. We use our slow cooker for chicken boobies, and then lean beef we usually get and make into patties as well, either in the slow cooker or sometimes we'll just do like ground meat on the stovetop. But usually with proteins, that's kind of the basics that I like to have ready to go, and then also have like tuna fish on backup for when I don't have protein ready to go. Because the reality is I'm not going to wait 20 minutes to cook myself some meats if I need meat. So I like having that stuff already made up. Chicken, rice, baby broccoli. I got the baby broccoli from Trader Joe's as well. The way I like to cook it is on the stovetop. I use a little garlic and a little basting oil from Wegmans. I don't know why I said it so funny. I cook it up on the stovetop, and I kind of like to get it to where it's like a little crispy looking. You know, a little dark, a little crunch to it. Not where you kill the broccoli and it's not that bright green color, but I like it to have like, you know, a little crispy crunch to it. And then I threw in there some mango, and quite honestly, the mango we got, it's not that sweet, but just for some fruit, for some vitamins, threw some mango in there. And then I'm also using that same salsa I used this morning on top of my chicken. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like fruit, mango in particular, really does go well with a meal. And I like pairing fruit and vegetables. I'm kind of getting a little bit of everything in here. If you guys are not new to my full day of eating videos, you know that's kind of how I roll with doing kind of a bowl style meal with a lot of basic foods. That's just how I like to eat. I personally find it my favorite way of eating. I like simple foods. I do like, you know, casseroles and things like that too. But when it comes down to it, I am a very basic eater with the things that I like and how I like it. So I've kind of learned to find my favorite food combinations, my favorite food staples, if you will, and combining them together, and just what kind of works best for me. I did also add additionally 5 grams of coconut oil to the rice just to add a little bit more fat to this meal. Although I did cook the broccoli in a little oil, you cook a little bit of that away. And I like a little more fat in my meals. My first meal wasn't that high in fat. The fat component is really what helps slow down digestion, makes things a bit more filling. So if you find you're constantly eating foods with no fat in it, you're never feeling full, that's because you're not getting enough fat in your foods. And you really do need fat for a lot of different functions within your body, not only to absorb fat-soluble vitamins, but fats do help with your hormone levels. It's going to help with feeling of fullness as well. Just overall body processes do require fat coming in via the diet. So, it's so much a myth. And I think we're kind of gone away from that fat is bad for us and that fat makes us fat. That's not true. We do need to be mindful of what fat sources we are consuming. I do have a combination of fats here between the coconut oil and then the basting oil. So I've got a combination of unsaturated fats, and then the coconut oil is more of a medium chain triglyceride. So that is utilized for energy a bit more. Do not have to use coconut oil in every single meal. I know that is always a huge trend as well, having everything come from coconut, but you want to have a variety of fats. I particularly like the coconut oil added to things like rice or vegetables as a way to flavor it. Maybe your go-to is butter. That's okay too, you guys. It doesn't have to be one or the other. There are no perfect foods. I am simply, throughout these videos, just showing you examples of things that I like to eat, things that I have found work best for me. I'm never sitting here telling you what I'm eating is perfect, that you have to eat it, that's yada yada yada. It's not the case. And if anyone is ever saying that, that's always a big red flag for me as a dietitian. They're just trying to scam and sell you something, most likely. You guys, I like to do these videos just to share ideas with you, and that's the feedback you've given to me, is that it gives you ideas for different meals and things to eat. And I think we all need that. We all get bored, we all get bogged down with the same old meal ideas, and sometimes just a simple change to a seasoning or a spice or throwing on some salsa can really make a meal have a bit more pizzazz, make you a bit more excited about it. And that's kind of what keeps me going. If I'm a little bit excited about my meals, while I still like to think about my meals in terms of the health it's providing me, I need to enjoy my food. And I think most people feel that way. Food is fuel, yes, but most people aren't just like, I have to eat my next meal because I need to survive, I need fuel. Hopefully we don't get to that place in our lives with the apocalypse coming, but for most of us, there needs to be an enjoyment factor. Previously in our previous world, there was a socialization factor there too with food, right? But, for the most part, we need to enjoy it. We need to enjoy it. So find a way to find healthy foods that you also enjoy and get excited about. That being said, we're going to dig into this butte. I'm probably going to kind of mush it all around, mix it all around, and eat it that way. I like to keep it looking pretty just to show you guys, but I'm gonna mix this all around. Yeah. Are you a food mixer, or can you have your foods not touch? I myself am a food mixer, so yes, we're gonna eat that, see how it goes over, and see you guys in the next meal. All right, guys, I'm still a little bit hungry and also wanting something a little bit sweet to carry me through until I have dinner. So I'm going to have, which may be my favorite, and may very well be my favorite flavor. I'm not sure yet. This is the sunflower seed butter outright bar chocolate chip. These ones are right up there for me with the vegan chocolate chip. I can't decide which one I like better. These ones are vegan. They're also obviously nut-free for people that have nut allergies. These guys are also gluten-free, and they're just outright awesome. The nutritionals on this guy are 16 grams of fat. We've got 21 grams of carbohydrates, 3 grams of fiber, and 17 grams of protein. This makes the bar about 300 calories. Some people feel like these bars are a lot higher than other protein bars. You know, when you look at other protein bars, they're usually around 250 from what I've seen. So I find 50 calories not really that significantly of a difference for something that just, for me personally, digests so much better, since there's nothing really artificial in here. There's none of that artificial fiber added in here. They just go over well for me. I don't get any weird bloating or cramping, and they're so satisfying to me. I love them. I could literally just live off these if I had to. I actually just ordered 3 boxes off Tiger. I ordered the s'mores, cookies and cream, and what else did we get, babe? Vegan chocolate chip?
Yeah.
Yeah, because these are sold out right now. But
those are also vegan too.
I did say that. These are vegan. These are sold out right now because I was going to order another box of those. But if you guys are interested in trying these, they restock all the time. So just check it out. But they have loads of other flavors. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy this guy while I do a little work. Maybe cuddle the big guy if he's into it. If he's into it. Bruce Wayne, that is. Not Jay Corey. I know it's confusing when I say big guy, but I'm talking about Bruce Wayne. All right, so I'm going to eat this, enjoy it, and we'll be back. Oh, God, I'm so sore from that.
You should jump on
I'm so sore from my leg workout. If you guys haven't had sunflower seed butter or sun butter, whatever, it's quite delightful if you want to change. I think why I like the vegan ones the best is like the vegan chocolate chips that are in them are like bigger and they're tastier. They're so good. Something about the aroma from the sunflower seed butter. It hits me right. Hits me just right. All right, guys, I'm finishing up the night with my last meal. It's a little bit late for me on a Sunday night. I'm quite honestly not that hungry right now, which is not my usual. I've just got that, like, you know that feeling before you went back to school? It was like summer vacation was over and you were starting a new grade and you felt all kind of weird. That's how I feel about going to work tomorrow. I just feel this like general heaviness of everything that's going on around us. So it's leaving me in a bit of a mode, which is causing me to not have as much of an appetite, if that makes sense. And I think that's kind of normal right now with the situation that we're in. You're going to have some days where you're feeling all kinds of anxious and uncertainty causing you lower appetite, and you're going to have other days where you may just want to eat your emotions, right? This is very common right now with the things that are going on that are so out of our control. So oftentimes folks might want to eat in order to kind of control the situation, but you know, just kind of acknowledge where you're at. This evening, I'm acknowledging that I'm definitely not super hungry, but looking at like my calories for the day, since I did plug it in and track, sharing along with you guys, you know, I think another meal is appropriate. And I'm just having something kind of light-ish, I guess. I'm just having some 96 for beef, because it needed to get 8 today anyway, so that made it simple. And then some Brussels sprouts that were already cooked in the fridge, so I didn't really have to put in any work. I just heated it up. I added a little smidgen of my favorite sugar-free teriyaki sauce, and I'm gonna eat that up. So somewhat of a light meal, I guess, just to kind of finish up the night, make sure I kind of come into the day tomorrow in a good way. I notice sometimes I get asked this a lot when people are like, well, if I'm not really hungry, should I really force myself to eat? I really think it depends on the situation. For myself, I know my activity is maybe a smidge lower considering the circumstances, not considerably. I really wasn't doing a high amount of cardio before we got ourselves into this situation. And I think I'm still doing a pretty good workload, like a pretty good output, if you will, with my workout sessions. Even though they might be a bit shorter, I feel like I'm resting a bit less. So I still feel like I'm putting in a decent amount of work. But you will have those days sometimes where you're just not as hungry. So I guess depending on the scenario, you know, use your best judgment. I know for me, the work week is when I tend to feel more hungry, and especially with everything that's been going on, things have been higher stressed. I've been more active at work. I've been more interactive at work. And I just feel like I'm just like go, go, go a bit more at work, causing my appetite to spike a bit more during the work week. So for myself in my head, I don't want to come into a Monday not eating dinner and almost set myself up for failure. So that's sometimes what can happen when you do these lows and spikes with your eating intake. As much as possible, you can have a bit more consistency there with your eating and regulating that. You know, I'm not saying ignore your hunger cues or anything like that, but also using your best judgment of what you think is right for what your body needs. So that's what I'm doing this evening. I'm going to finish up with that meal. We're going to wind it down for the evening, just kind of like take it down a notch, let the lights down low, shut off the social media, all that kind of stuff, and just relax, do some deep breathing, and get ready for the week ahead. I hope you guys enjoyed this day of eating. My day of eating wasn't really that much different than my usual days of eating. I'm not really altering things too crazily, if you will. Crazily, is that a word? I feel like I've made up a lot of words in this video. I like to make up words, all right? I can do what I want on my channel, okay? But yeah, just kind of listening to my body for the most part, and doing the best I can. I got in a few servings of vegetables today, some fruits. I'm feeling good. I did good on my proteins. We'll have the macros up on the screen for you guys as my daily overview. I am not aiming to hit any certain numbers at this point in my life, quite honestly. I am tracking. I just started kind of tracking again, just to more so have a little accountability. I'm not really dictating things. Today just ended up, I think, a decent day of eating for not my normal appetite. Like, I'd normally probably eat a bit more carbs during the work week, but overall pretty standard day for me, eating average foods that I like. Hope that it gave you guys some ideas and that you enjoy just hanging out with me in my kitchen, watching me eating food. It's one of my favorite things to do. Hope you guys are staying healthy. Don't forget to hit the like button before you head on out of here. Comment below if you enjoy these videos, if you want to see more. If you don't want to see this kind of video, what do you want to see? Let me know below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.